Hello guys and welcome to Freebird's Q and welcome to 75-day Hard Generative AI Learning Challenge. This is day 24 and in this video I will tell you how to fine-tune Microsoft Phi-2 large language model with the help of QLORA, and we will fine-tune it on the sentiment analysis dataset, and this dataset is based on the economic factors. We need to predict the sentiment of the economic dialogues or the economic news kind of things as well. Okay, so let's get started. So this is my Microsoft Phi-2 model Kaggle notebook, and this is the small information about the Phi-2 model. It has 2.7 billion parameters and it is trained on the same data sources that Phi 1.5 is trained, and it is trained on the augmented data as well, and along with the synthetic text, filtered websites and many more things. And it can assessed against the benchmarking test of common sense, language understanding and logical reasoning as well, and it perform a state-of-art performance against the model which has less than 30 billion parameters. So it is a very great model. You can access this kind of model from this link. You can directly go to the Hugging Face website like that. Okay, you can also read about this model more about here. Okay, now you need to install some kind of necessary libraries here, and along with the load those necessary libraries as well. Now let me just explain you about each kind of this library as well. The Accelerate library that we use, this library is used for distributed training by pytorch. Okay, so when you train or fine tune a model, that training will go on the distributed level on the CPUs or GPUs as well. Okay, and the next library is PEFT. So this library is for the pre-trained large language model to do the fine-tuning. It is a parameter efficient fine-tuning library. Okay, it has all the kind of functions and efficient adapters in that library as well. Then we have the bits and bytes. This is a lightweight wrapper around the CUDA custom function that is used to load your pre-trained large language model in the custom formats, like in the form of 4-bit format, 8-bit format, like that, because our models are already stored in the form of 16 to 32-bit representations as well. Okay, so we need to load in the small format so that they can be easy to load and easy to work with. Okay, now we have transformers library that is used for the NLP task, and it can get all the pre-trained large language model and do the tasks such as text to classification, question answering, sheet translation and many more. We have the TRL library. This library is used to train the transformer language models with the reinforcement learning, supervised fine-tuning, reward modeling, or the proximal policy optimization steps kind of things as well. So these are the main libraries that you can use. Okay. Now we have this whole dataset here. You can access this financial news dataset from this link as well. When you click on this link, you can directly go to this dataset link. Okay, and we have this dataset that has the sentiment and along with the text. So this is the actual news dataset. Okay, so now the very first thing is to do the data preprocessing. So very first thing we do is we just split the data into the train and test with 300 samples in the each test. Okay, the split is stratified by the sentiment. Okay, so we should know that each sample should have equal number of sentiments. Okay, so there should be no bias in the data. Okay, so we do this by like this for sentiments in the positive, negative and neutral, and we can do it by the df.sentiment.sentiment, and we can get it in the 300 sections here. Now this is our data we have. Okay, now we can just shuffle our train data, because in this stratified sampling way, maybe our data can be in the equal partitions as well. So we need to shuffle our train data. So we shuffle it by the 100%. Okay. Now next thing is to build the evaluation data set. So that's the evaluation data, or we can say that validation data. Okay. So this data we get only that the index which is not present in the train data or in the test data. So we just do it by like that, and we can get all the indexes which are not present in the test or train data, and we can find those indexes in our main data to get it in the evaluation or the validation set. Okay, this is our validation set. Now we need to get that the sentiment of the each group. Okay, so that our all the data can be in a grouped format, and then we can easily get the top 50 samples out of it. So that's we can done by like that, and we have this complete data now. Or we also drop the index from the train data as well. Okay. Now we have all the data ready with us. Now let's transform this data into the LLM training form using the dataset library, because right now our data is in the form of this data frame format, right? Okay. So the very first thing is to generate the prompt and generate the test prompt. So generate the prompt means we have this sentiment, we have this text, and its text sentiment is this. So we just build a kind of a prompt here in the form of MCQ. Okay, so we have the sentiment of the following phrase. This is our complete text, like this whole text, and then it shows that positive, neutral, cannot determined, and the solution we also given. The correct option is our actual sentiment. And in our test prompt, we don't give the actual sentiment here. We just give the MCQ format. Okay, so in this way, our data can be ready for the LLM training. Now we just need to apply this generate prompt function to our xtrain and xeval data sets. Then it is completely applied here. Okay, and then we need to build for our x test as well and y-true. We know that y-true is what? Y-true is the sentiment. So we already store our y-true in our y-true variable, and then we just also apply our this generate test prompt function on the x test variable as well. Okay, then we just apply our from pandas function to build it into the actual format. Okay, actual format for the large language modeling training. So that can be done by using this step. Okay, in this step, it is actually transformed into the LLM fine-tuning dataset form. Okay, so this is how it looks now. You have like this. Okay, now let's create a function to evaluate our fine-tuned sentiment model. Okay, this function will do these kind of things. It will map the sentiment to a numerical representation, because we don't use the actual categorical values in our model training, so we can map it into the 0, 1 and 2. Okay, and then we can calculate the accuracy report, classification report, and confusion metrics. So we do by this. We have these kind of labels as well, and we can map these labels to these values 2, 1, -1 or 0. Okay, and then we build a function, and this function will do one thing. It can get these values from your x variable, and if that x is found in this list, then that value got returned, else it will return 1. Okay, so now we can apply this whole function in our y-true and y-pred here, and this is our results are now if we get the y-pred in the ahead section. Okay, then we can also get the accuracy score, and then this is the accuracy score, and then we can get the unique labels from the y-true, and with the help of those unique labels we build our confusion metrics here, and with the help of confusion metrics we build the classification report, and this is the confusion metrics we already built in the form of that. Okay, so now we have everything marked here. We just run our model and apply this evaluation function on that. Let's first test our Microsoft Phi-2 model. So very first thing is to load the model. We load the model from the Hugging Face hub. Then the code gets the float16 data type from the torch library. But we need it in the 4-bit format. So we set up the bits and byte configuration object to load the model in the 4-bit format. Okay, that's all we do in this here. You can read out that thing, that what are all the attributes means. Okay, then we just do one thing. This is the model name. This is the compute type float16, and this is our bits and byte configuration. And with the help of this configuration, we actually load our model. I can pass this whole configuration into this setup, and this is our model name, and I can easily get my model from that. And I also get the tokenizer from my model as well. Okay, and this is how it completely loads my whole the model. Okay, and you already know this is the same step as we do in our previous 2 videos. We just map the padding token with the end of state token as well. Okay. So the next thing is we just set a function to predict the sentiment of the news headlines, and then we can easily evaluate that with the help of our evaluate function that we build above. Okay. So now let's build a function to predict. We just get the ypred function, and for I in the each of the test, for each of the text in the text variable, we build a kind of a pipeline here. We pass our prompt in this pipeline and get our result. And for each result, if it is positive, negative, neutral, or what, then we return our result. Okay. So we just get the result here. It is stored in the ypred, and we pass our ypred and ytrue in our evaluate function. So this is the result for label 0, for label 1, and for label 2. As you see, the results for the label 0 and label 1 is very, very small. It is just 7% or 5%, and our whole model accuracy is of only 34%. Okay, so we need to fine tune now, because this we just check on the actual Phi-2 model. But what if after fine tuning this accuracy will got increased? Because that's what fine tuning will do. It will train your model on a specific task. Okay, so let's fine tune now. So we first initialize the simple fine tuning trainer here for a large language model by using the parameter efficient fine tuning method. We use the QLORA here. Okay, that is the most important thing. Okay, so you can read out all these about things. I can help you to see that this is the parameter efficient fine tuning configuration that is actually required, because you know that what is alpha, it means a scaling factor or the learning rate, or we can also the dropout, we can also the rank, that also manages the dimensions of your matrices as well. We have the bias, we have the task type. This all things are very necessary for the fine tuning the model. And we have the training arguments as well that we need to set to fine tune our model. And these are the descriptions of those all the attributes that we just use in our training arguments function. And then we have the SFT trainer that just need your model, your data, your validation data, your dataset, your tokenizer, and your maximum sequence length as well. That can be all set in this SFT trainer as well. Now let's get the number of layers for your Microsoft Phi-2 model, and then we get their linear heads as well, that how many heads each of these models will have. Okay, these functions will do only that kind of things. Then we set up our parameter efficient fine tuning LLM configuration here. Okay, that is set the dimensions of each of the metrics to 16, and we have our target module, we have our alpha, we have a task type as well, and then we just pass this PEF configuration into our training arguments or in our trainer here, and then we just call the train function here. Okay, so when we call the train function, it just started doing the training. I just train it for the one epoch. If you see here, for the one epoch. If you want to do it more fine tuned, you can also increase the epoches, and it will like take some time to do the whole fine tuning. But after the fine tuning is done, you can save it in the form of your own name. Okay, as I saved it in this form. Okay, and after that I check for the evaluation, and as you see, the accuracy got increased from 34 to 79 here. Okay, so that shows after fine tuning on a specific task, your accuracy also got increased for each of the label as well, right? Each of the label as well. So that's what you can done with the help of fine tuning, and that's how you can fine tune the Microsoft Phi-2 model on the sentiment analysis task of the financial news. Okay, so in our next video, we'll talk about the very important update from the OpenAI, that is the Sora AI, and I will show you what this Sora AI will be capable of, and we will show how to do the text to video generation as well with the help of large language model. So just be with it and we'll meet in our next video. Thank guys. Thank you so much.